Okay, guys, so I got the windows open, so I haven't got the phone leaning up against this window here. Huh? Does it show? No. So therefore, it's on the windowsill, leaning up. What I didn't realize was yesterday was Sunday, the 1st of June. I thought it was Sunday, the um, 31st of May, because for some reason that's, unless my memory remembered wrong, but that's what I saw when I saw the time that the Warriors were going to play against the Rabbitohs. Well, it says Rabbitohs versus Warriors because it says home team and away team. So in my mind, it was Warriors versus Rabbitohs in an away game, but it'll say home team Rabbitohs, visiting team Warriors. Warriors won that one by 6 points. Yeah. Anyone knows much about the NRL Warriors history, they know they get 2 wins in a row or 4 or 5 wins in a row, and then they lose a couple, and then is that the same team? Same players, But the thing is they done really well because they broke that. They broke that because they bounced back and won. Yeah, and they've already done that twice. They won 3 in a row and then they lost one, and they won 5 in a row and they lost one, and then they bounced back with a win. So yeah, playing like the All Blacks, averaging four wins, 5 games. Um, Except for the All Blacks would have 1 or 2 of those games. The 2 of those games would be a blowout of like more than 30 points, 7 points to converted try, and they'll win 2 of those games by more than 30 points. Another 2 will be like 0 to 15 point victory, and then there'll be 1 loss on average. So yeah. Because I checked it because I just was like, uh, just hopped online. I have a habit of checking the date each day, and it said it was the 2nd of June. Hang on, I don't know if it's still recording because I scrolled down to have a look. Yeah, I think it was recording the whole time. That's the 2nd of June. So the 2nd of June, 2020, is when I did that Narc Father recorded, part 1 and part 2. Because he went off, was phone calling people, and then came back in for another argument. So that was 2020, and it was the same week. It was that week. I can't remember which day of that week exactly, but it was that week, sometime during that week, that it might have been like 4 days later or something. I don't know. Yeah, I sometimes toss it up as to whether it was 4 or 6 days later, but it was that week that I went no contact with my family, and it was a year later. It was 11 months later that I arrived here in the Wellington region. I had some good reminders of the character, because you have that hope of them changing, and you have that mercy when you have understanding of things. I mean, but yeah. The thing is I've bumped into people since I made that recording that reminded me of my father, and it wasn't pleasant. Now, when I went to go watch the Warriors game, okay, so yeah, I don't know the situation now, but my dad used to be a site manager, and then he had his own building company, so financially he wasn't struggling. These guys are probably just in bad position because they blew all their money anyway. Because they're they're from times when things were a lot easier economically. I won't get into that. So yeah, this guy was sounded like my dad. He's the same age as my dad. They might say, "Are you 40 to 50 years old, or are you 50 to 60, or are you 60 to 70?" And this guy was like within the same age bracket as my dad. The way he was talking, was the same. It was like I was talking to my dad, except for this person had missing teeth and dressed shabby. But when I went no contact, my father was 60 years old. Well, no, he turned 60 July, August, May, 4 months later, September. So yeah, 4 months later, and was it June? July, August, September. 3 months later, after I went no contact, he had his 60th birthday. But I decided not to show up, and you're so horrible. People were, flying monkeys and stuff. But it wasn't a pleasant experience. Like, it just wasn't. And the guy bought some beers into the bar, and I had an energy drink with me. I bought an energy drink in. They let me do that, and I have a special thing, like I haven't had any alcohol in about at least 3 months now, because it used to be never have it, I didn't have it for a year, and then now it's just like I made this commitment that the next time I get employment will be the next time I drink alcohol. So it's been over 3 months. I don't really miss it, but it's just like So how do I celebrate? Because the movies are either you get the odd movie that's a repeat, but it's like you know even in my 20s. But I just go there to get dopamine. I just didn't realize it. To entertain myself and say, see, look, I spent money on something because I deserve it, because I achieved something. Like, I leveled up in martial arts, or I went on a diet and I lost 30 kilograms or something, and then there would be like a movie that looks pretty decent, and then I'll just go there, as a reward. So, well, I mean, I could buy new clothes, but I don't feel the need to. But then people say when you get rid of the old clothes, you get rid of the old you. But I like these clothes. But I might get some new ones later on when I get a new job. So yeah, it just wasn't clothes, movies, alcohol, junk food. It's like, so how else do you celebrate? So it's just have something to drink just to celebrate because I achieved something. And the next time I do that will be when I get employment. So no, this guy was bringing beers in, and he looked really rough. So he didn't dress like my dad. My dad dresses nice. Last I knew, it's been 5 years, and my dad doesn't have missing teeth, but this guy did. But he was like everything he was saying sounded like him. He was always telling me how I was wrong, and it just didn't make sense. Like, you got to make the top eight to get into the playoffs, right? But then there's special things. He goes, it doesn't matter about winning the games, just make the top eight. And I go, yeah, but the thing is you're supposed to maintain your position by winning games. And he's like, no, you're wrong. I don't agree at all. If you're in the top eight, it doesn't matter if you start losing games because you'll still be in the top eight. And it's like, yeah, well, that's how you get kicked out. It's like you got to win at least 3 games a month.